Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm glad you're here this cold morning. We appreciate your viewership and you supporting our advertisers. Let's get started with our weather, brought to us by Gulf Coast Air Conditioning, Drew Pollard, and hard-working crew taking care of our everyday comfort needs. It's not going to be real comfortable today. How about maybe a high of 51 and a low of 29 here on the coast? Now, all you inland viewers, which you got a bunch of them, it's going to be colder than that. So I know a lot of y'all will be having fires tonight, and I said yesterday I'm going to certainly enjoy ours, and I'm looking forward to building one probably after lunch or something, have it going all day, and maybe build it when I get home. Anyway, water temperature brought to us by Allco Electric out of Lynn Haven. We're looking at a 65.7 at the end of the pier. Our river readings brought to us by the Panama City Coca-Cola. Good folks down there. We got a little bit of just a high river. I mean, I thought it was going to start going down a little bit, but look at that place called Bluntstown. How about right at 17 even, and it looks like it's going to stay there for like a couple more days. That's all controlled by the gates up there at Jim Woodruff Dam. The Choctaw at Caryville, 9.5, and as you know, the rain we're getting, I'm predicting it may go up a little bit more, but it's right at 10 foot. So I know a couple of people got some fishing in a couple of days ago because they knew this rain was coming. Our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. Looking at a high tide this morning at 2:22, and a low tide tonight. Low tide was this morning. High tide's coming in after lunch at 2:17, and it's going to be windy. How about north wind they're calling for 15 to 25. That's not a good day to be outdoors. It's kind of a good day you want to sort of go through your tackle box, start getting ready for spring fishing. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. I mentioned get ready for spring fishing by checking your tackle box today and getting all that. People used to really do that. I don't know how many of y'all still do it, but anyway, today's the 20th, and first day of spring is, like I said, 1 month from today, March 20th, so right around the corner. All right, we got all kind of pictures. I try to insert these funny ones. They're funny to me. I hope you get some kind of little smile on your face early in the morning and get to enjoy these. Check out this first one. We're talking about going fishing. It says, when you ain't been fishing in a while. So you take out your hamburger patty, you make a hamburger patty and make it look like a fish, and how about just cooking it up like that? I thought that was funny. All right, this is 1940, and this is a neat story. This is in Klamath Falls, Oregon, at the train station. So what they were doing, I guess the season opened in September, and there's 73 deer. But I started looking at it and getting the details on it. I think they're obviously killing them for the meat. But look at the bottom of all the people. A lot of hunters, I think they got paid for. I don't know the true story, but on the bottom it says September 22nd. But is that not amazing? The only thing I couldn't figure out, how in the world did they get on the top row? And this guy over here on the left, what's he doing? I mean, is he tying them on there? Is that amazing? They wouldn't do that now in Oregon. How about a biking on Ocala, right there, Ocala National Forest, or State Forest. There it is, and we're going to start seeing this soon, just as soon as this cold weather breaks off. So if you're out in the trails, walking or biking or just going through the trails, just start looking because they're going to be there. All right, we're going to have to paint potatoes this Easter, y'all. Okay. Put this on your calendar. It's always the second Saturday in April, and every year we say we're going to go, and maybe we'll go this year, but Sop Choppy Worm and Grunting Festival. And it's going to be, we have some friends that go, they just get a kick out of it. And anyway, Sop Choppy. Okay. Got this email from Charlie Webb. Latin Long Tracking with Sis Big Game Recovery had the privilege of collaborating in tracking this buck for Colt Peterson. The marginal shot with a dead-end blood trail required our assistance. This track spanned over 700 yards through the densest terrain into a swamp. And you can see They finally recovered. You can see how wet everybody is. They finally recovered it. These tracking dogs, they saved a lot of deer. If not, a coyote would have gotten that buck that night. So congratulations, Colt. Nice buck there. This Saturday, I haven't really talked about it a lot, but the Redfish series, this is stop number 2, and they're going to be in Panama City. They're going to be at Point South Marina, Bay Point. And I got a tough choice to either go to that or to the River Fest, and I told the folks I'm going to really try to go to that River Fest. So if y'all go, y'all send me some pictures, but you're going to see some fine redfish. These are some very good fishermen. I know several of the boats going to be out there, including the Eifert brothers. They're going to be there. Hey, Coach Chester, caught a few good blue cat today in the wee water after I go to the river. Bubba Phillips. And here we go, to show them right here. My wife Cindy got the trophy, okay? So I got them blown up, I think. All right, here he is right here, Bubba Phillips. I'm gonna show a picture later of his brother. I want you to look at the resemblance between he and his brother, okay? But that is a nice one right there. And another one. Good job, Levi. And I said, next time you're supposed to let the wife catch a big one, but that's, those, I'd rather eat one like that, honestly, than those big old ones. All right, good job. This is interesting. 1 week from today, okay, I'm gonna blow it up a little bit, from Florida Wildlife Federation, and they defending, funding, and restoring wild Florida. And y'all know how we all feel about this, along with you. They're gonna do a live stream at 6 o'clock Eastern time, so it's gonna be on Facebook, Instagram, whatever, YouTube, and they're gonna talk about the priorities of defending and funding and restoring. And they've got a good following of folks. And what they're talking about with this legislative session, putting some pressure on our legislators to get some funding to buy some of this property, that if we don't get it, we're going to be developers all over the place. And so I support these folks a lot. I really feel strong about it. This has nothing to do with outdoors. I ran across this and it helped me and maybe help you, okay? The names of the generations, the last few generations, I get confused. We know that the early generation was lost. I don't know. Probably all kinds of stories. Then my parents were all the greatest generation, then the silent generation, and then I'm a baby boomer, and then after me comes the Generation X, and then the millennials from 81 to 96. So 65 to 80 is Generation X, and then 81 to 96, and then 97 to 2012. I don't know who set this up. Generation Z. So now we're in Generation Alpha, and who knows what's going to be next. But you know, I got a ticket I want to show you. It's amazing what you can learn watching Panhandle Outdoors. Not just outdoor stuff, but some just general knowledge to sort of simplify things for you. We can understand it better. Now, let's take a break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. I want to show, got a little video last Saturday. Gail and I were at Howard Creek. It's been a little bit of time. I rode the golf cart down to the landing. I want to show you some things going on in the landing. They had a good crowd. Remember that Saturday was a pretty day down there. So I'm facing the landing and I'm scanning from, of course, left to right. And look at the trucks. There's always puts a smile on my face when I see all this. That's a good crowd for February fishing. Now look at that beautiful property there off to the right. We're going to talk about this later, but up to the tree line, look how beautiful that is. Open up and they've cleaned it up from the trees that have fallen. Okay, so here's it. Now I'm at actual ramp. This sort of bothers me a little bit. This great launch right there. See where his trailer is. I don't know who this is, but perfect right there. But they've redone this landing and it's really done well, except right here, look at the right bottom. It's all washed out already. And you would think they would sort of throw that off to the left a little bit, and it's not right there. So I don't know what the holdup is or plans are, but I hope I know they're going to finish it. I just want to show that to you. And then I'm looking back north. I'm on the other side of the ramp, just showing you the ramp. There's good walking there. We're talking about bank fishing off the bank. Let me see. And it's well built right now. It's such an improvement from what was there before, if you remember. I'm just scanning here, just looking at the beauty of a river swamp on a big river. I mean, I just love those cypress trees, and I know you know exactly what I'm talking about. But here's some good fishing. You can fish right in here to the right, talking about fishing at the boat ramps. and folks are there. I don't know what that trailer doing there, but there's plenty of room parking up there. So anyway, and the old cypress stumps, but you can see, let me see, I took a, look at those old cypress stumps. As a kid, I was always fascinated. I'd walk through the swamp with my dad and my brother, and I would stare at those things, and I would touch them and rub on them. And it always brings back fond memories of those swamps. And I get tickled. Here I'm going back toward the ramp, but anyways, it's beautiful. So anyway, so I wanted to show that to you. I get tickled talking about those cypress knees and all. I had an uncle, my Uncle Jesse Furr. He would from Hosford, and he would cut them off at the bottom. He'd saw them off at the bottom, pick out a real pretty one, and he would make a lamp shade stand, and he would drill a hole and run the cord, electrical cord through it. And back then, of course, he would clean it up and varnish it, and I thought that was so cool. It took him a while to do it, and then he would sell them to friends, or he would give them to some family and all. But I've never seen anybody else do that. I don't know if they still do that or not. But he had plenty to choose from, all sizes. In fact, I remember him. I was a kid, so you know how long ago that was. All right, so I want to go to Google Earth. I want to go to Howard Creek. Okay, I want to show you something. Howard Creek. Here we go, right here. Putting up Howard Creek. Look at there. Isn't that amazing? Look at the little picture on the bottom left. Is that a good picture? Let's turn that off. So I want to zoom in on Howard Creek. I want to show you something here that's worth talking about. Okay, that of course that's the brother. So this is where it's the river. So you come up here to the landing. Here's the landing I just showed here in the center. You can sort of see the layout. Okay, I'm gonna keep everything in the center so you see where we are. Now I'm gonna go to the left a little bit. See this big grassy area right there, and keep on going to the left. This is that pretty area I was talking about. Just a natural area, great for picnicking and it's just big open area. And I'd heard, of course that goes on back up into Howard Creek. Now, what I'd heard a good while back that they wanted to put a campground there. Folks, listen, I want to tell you something. Everybody I've talked to down there and even in Gulf County, they wanted to just leave it natural. They know if you put a campground in there, it's going to be boom, 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 boom. And it's on, and you know what kind of 90 or 80% of the folks there are going to be good folks coming in, but you're going to get some riffraff coming in and leaving the camper there and throwing mess all over the place. It will be a mess. So you folks in Gulf County, make sure you talk to your county commissioners that you really, most of y'all do not want a campground there. I'm going to show you what it's going to look like. Okay, I'm going to go up the road a little bit. This is Upper Landing. This is Upper Landing, and look at here. They let these campers come in here, and it is a mess right there, and it just doesn't look good. And side by side, every time I ride by there, you can just see a bunch of beer cans thrown down and all kinds of stuff. So that, we got to preserve our nature. We've got to something like that. And I mean, you can go there and you can take a blanket. I told Gail Saturday. What a great place to take a family, let the kids run around, throw a ball, throw a frisbee, run around, and just picnic and all. Put up some picnic tables and all. But a campground, we don't want it. We as outdoorsmen don't want it. We've got plenty of areas like that. So I just wanted to just say how I feel about it. Okay, so now I've got. Let's see what else I want to talk about. I got tickled talking about the bank fishing from the bank and under bridges and boat ramps. That really became popular. Look back at American history, that fishing with a cane pole from the bank. That goes back to really the Depression area when folks had to fish to get some food. If they lived around the rivers and creeks and all, they didn't have boats. And some of them were able to build boats, but a lot of times the women, I can remember my Granny Mills fishing, and she learned to fish as a little girl way back. And I just remember bank fishing was very special. Okay, let's see. Let me get back some more pictures. So that's where the history of bank fishing. All right, where was I? I was right. Have I showed this one yet? Okay. The first Spanish that I have a picture of. I told you the Spanish are coming in. Not really. They're not here yet. There are always going to be some scattered ones, and if you fish hard, you're going to get one of these scattered ones. But you notice they don't have a lot of them around it. It's just this single one right here. Okay, I'm going to come back to this. Let me find another picture, Jeff. Let me go back to, I'm gonna get this story in right here. I've got a message. Okay, right here. Remember last week we were talking about hunting leases. If you have a lease and all, and you need a member or you want to find a lease. Here's a guy, Raleigh Martin. He sent his phone number. He mainly bow hunts, but he also gun hunts. So there's the phone number there. He lives in Fountain. He's looking for a lease. 850-814-9314. His name's Raleigh Martin up there in Fountain. He's looking for getting in a lease. So I know that maybe we can work it out for him. Speaking of bank fishing, if you ever spend all day fishing with just a can of worms and a dream, you were raised right. So that goes a long way, just actually just fishing. Nobody fishes all day now, but just going out for a couple of hours is cool. Okay, I'm at a good breaking point now. Let's take a break and come back with some more good pictures. Okay, welcome back. Let's take a quick look at our fishing game times today, brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers, Fort St. Joe. I think it might be relevant today because not many people are going. 4:24 to 6:24 this morning, and 4:49 to 6:49 tonight. And maybe it's going to get better for the weekend. We'll talk more about that tomorrow when we do our famous Friday fishing forecast. Okay, I'm trying to catch up on all these correspondence. I appreciate. I couldn't do a show if y'all didn't send a lot of these pictures and emails and messages in, and I get a kick out of it because it tells what's going on all through the Panhandle. I just showed a picture of Bubba Phillips with catfishing, and he sent this to me, his brother. Check this out. Good morning, Coach Chester. Wanted to share these photos of brother Charlie Phillips' deer he got at the end of January. He got one of our hit deer a few weeks ago in Eufaula, Alabama, on our family farm. In the last few years, he let other bucks pass by waiting on this big one. He got him 18 inches inside the spread. So here we go right here. What a fine buck up there in Eufaula. I love the blind, I love the area, but what a fine buck. Charlie Phillips. And there it is, another. I mean, that's when you harvest just the big ones right there. This is what happens when you can actually control it and have an area where you can get some big bucks. And here's a picture of Charlie. I got a kick out of it. Remember in the last segment I showed Bubba Phillips. I said, look at Bubba's face and look at Charlie. Don't they look like brothers? Now, Charlie played linebacker for me. I was linebacker coach back at Mosley in Charlie was a middle linebacker. Don't he look like a linebacker? Played linebacker in 1975, back in the day. I was a young coach coming out of college, and Charlie was a fine football player. Talking about pictures and photography, this is coming out of St. Mark's. It must have tasted good. Now, they didn't shoot, it shot on Lighthouse. They didn't shoot it with a gun, they shot it with a camera. About 60 yards away with a camera, and he cropped it too much. But anyway, I blew it up. So he's licking, he must have just had something to eat, and he's licking himself. But look at the breakdown of the color, the hair on him, and you can tell he looks like he's been in the water and waded out to get that. But isn't that a beautiful picture of a Florida bobcat? That's great outdoor photography. This week, you grandparents here, when Grandma gives you just a little snack before you go home, if you have grandkids, you know what this picture's talking about. And okay, here's another funny one. This is up in Michigan, and I've got some friends from Michigan. And this is over on the left. This is the trophy wall of the husband, and on the right is the trophy wall of the wife with their weapons. She has that broom, and look at the rats and everything she's been killing. Okay, that's Michigan folks. Hank Parker, okay, went hunting rabbits. He took it, speaking of grandkids, took my granddaughter Sarah Beth out rabbit hunting today. I can't let her spend all the time fishing. She might outshoot me before it's all over. But isn't that cute? Now I got to interview. Hank Parker was down here a while back, and I was looking back on my memories of different interviews, and I interviewed Hank Parker. What a gentleman of a man. He was up here at one of these sandhill ponds, and I had a little get together, and he was just a class act, just really enjoyable guy. Jim Kelly, hey Winston, Leslie and I went to St. Lucia for our 25th anniversary. It was a great trip. I attached a couple of pictures from Fort Rodney at the Pigeon Island National Landmark. Please share with Miss Gail. About to travel again, I will send more pictures. Check this out with a Panhandle Outdoors cap. Happy anniversary, Jim and Leslie. Isn't that a cool picture though? At the fort, and they're traveling around. So he's got some caps, and I love it when you're seeing caps from out of the country, where you are. Pictures. Okay, isn't that? I was looking at what a nice little mountain range, and it goes right down to the water, just like you see in the movies. And then, thank you, Jim, for sharing that with us. Ansel Levy over there in Abe Springs. Hey, Mr. Chester, you posted my photos of my second buck ever. I just had it scored. It was 130. So here's the score, and you can see how they do the scoring. We've gone over this. Stan Kirkland was the official scorer for FWC. And you understand that they measure the right antler, and measure the left antler, and the column, and then they add it together, then do the spread, and the third thing, and do the spread. That's a good spread for your second deer ever. And then you score it. And the difference, a little bit, they take off something for, I forget what, but anyway, the final score, they scored 130. And here's a picture of it right here. That's that European mount we talk about. And it became popular a little while back, and a lot of people are doing it. I think that just cleans up a deer and looks really good. And, if you don't have room for a big old head and all, just have that European mount. And a lot of folks do it. I know it's done at some places where they get to actually they leave the deer head out there, let animals eat it down to about to where it's at, and then they just break it open. It's natural. It's going to bleach in the sun. So it's a good way. It's a good, inexpensive way to get a nice mount. The horns stay like they are, and it's a good call. Okay, I got several other things. I was going to talk about spring fishing. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Think about where you want to go fishing this spring. There's some spring fishing trips, some good locations for a couple of days, or South Florida, all kind of great fishing. But really, right there in that Big Bend area around Steinhatchee and those places, is some of the finest fishing you'll find out. You'll see if you go. I got to wrap it up for today. Thank y'all for watching, and we always appreciate your viewership. Do something good for someone else today, and you share it with us, and I'd like to hear about it. Have a great day, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.